Service only. We're back again for another one. I'm with my man Edgard Arty. What's up, brother?
What's up,
How
man?
you doing?
I'm good. How you
Thanks
doing, man?
Thanks for being on. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
A lot of you guys are probably wondering why is there a SB on the table. That's because this gentleman right here, he's the creator and founder of Sneakergreet.
Sneakergreet.
What exactly is Sneakergreet?
Sneakergreet is a trade show event that I created about 4 years ago. It's a buy, sell, and trade sneakers, apparel. Now we've gotten into a bit of artwork and just other things.
So people can buy, sell, and trade artwork.
Oh yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well, we started 4 years ago. It's funny because I was a promoter before.
Okay, yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, I ran a lot of nightclubs for those heads. Z Square was one of the biggest spots we did, and shout out to you guys, Z Square crew, and Ohm Lounge, and then segue into Naga and stuff. But in that transition, I went to there was a trade show that came to Boston.
Okay.
Dunk Exchange used to come to Boston all
Yeah,
the time.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I used to be like, yo, why are these cats coming to Boston doing a show and then just getting the money and bouncing?
So that inspired you to want to do something.
Yeah, so I went to New York. I went to SneakerCon and saw a show out there. Brought my son, and we was like, yo, this is crazy. People actually have it's like a trade show. It's like Magic or Agenda and years ago, and it just blew my mind. So me as a promoter and always thinking business, and
mine was going.
I was like, yo, bang, we gotta come through and do this here. And my first show, I actually teamed up with Joe Mill from Laced.
Yep.
And we collaborated and did a really huge show at the Wonderland Ballroom.
So this was the first one 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Wonderland Revere.
Wonderland.
I think I was actually at that one.
Yeah.
I think I was actually at that one.
And it was organic. Like we didn't. Actually, the first one was a small one we did at the Middle East, but the first big one was at Wonderland Ballroom, and I collabed with Joe Mill and Laced, and we brought DJ Clark Kent and Ronnie Fag.
Yep. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
So, your transition from promoting to Sneakergreet.
Yep.
Was it seamless? Like, did you focus on Sneakergreet the
No,
whole time?
Nah. So that's the thing. It's crazy. When I was doing the show, I kind of had a promoter's mentality kind of doing it because I was like, okay, we're going to do it. And we had rollouts, but it wasn't like, and social media was different then. Yeah. So it was like, I'll post it. And we did a whole guerrilla marketing with flyers all over the place and so on and so forth. But the transition was changing from print and street teams to more of an online presence.
Yeah, more digital.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, I wasn't really up on it like that crazy. So we still did well. Like we did another show at the Wonderland and we brought Fat Joe. Yeah. And so my mentality was, I'm bringing artists. So, as we do like promoting, you bring the artist will sell the show. Yeah. Then after a while, I noticed that the show has its own, or I should say the sneaker culture has its own way, like its own culture within. So they're kind of within themselves, kind of like, we love the events, but it's about the events.
Yeah. We don't need the artist. Per se. I mean, the artist just adds something.
Correct.
It's not necessarily about the
right. So it's cool. Continue to do it. And then I call this the pre-Kanye Adidas time. Okay. So when I was doing shows, I saw there was a lull and it was starting to go down because it was like re-retroing of all these Jordans, a lot going out. This trade and sell wasn't happening as much, and I kind of little bit of competition was happening. So I was kind of like, nah, I'm gonna take a little break. Yeah. And then I started focusing on like concert promotions.
Okay. So like big concerts.
Well, it was more like the SoundCloud.
Okay, so you're talking about like 400 to 1,000 spot venues?
Yeah. Okay. So more so like at the
Middle East.
Yeah. Artists for Humanity or Jorge Hernandez, down in the South End, and we would just bring artists like those SoundCloud artists that was like getting ready to bubble. We brought like D Savage. Oh man, so many artists I can't even think. Like right before artists used to were popping. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And one of my heartbreaks was I attempted to bring Playboy Cardi. This is a fun fact for y'all. I brought Playboy Cardi, Ian Connor, Ken Rebel, Ade, and ASAP Bari to Boston. We actually brought them to Boston, but the venue switched up on us. Went crazy. We tried to do it at another venue.
So you were scrambling to find a venue.
That was probably the worst time of my life. You don't know what it was to have so much money invested.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we had like I said, they were all in town. I remember driving to New York to pick up Ian, and Cardi was flying in. It was from California, and we were picking up Ian and Ken Rebel. Shout out to Ken Rebel, by the way. He always be hooking me up and looking out for me when I need artists. Shout out to you. And we were driving to New York. We got a call from the venue saying, unfortunately, there was a situation in the area and the police shut the venue down. We can't do anything about it. We'll help you find another venue. It's not on us. It really is the police. Yeah. Call the police station and say, you don't even know what's going on. We've been promoting. It was crazy. And we couldn't, they just didn't do it. They shut down everything that weekend, too.
So you didn't have a show? No show?
So we called. So I'm on the road, driving to New York. I'm calling the Middle East. I'm calling Hard Rock. I'm calling all these guys. My man, Motivation Mondays. My man, he did Motivation Mondays, my bad. Love you to death. Mark Merrin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Made a phone call, hooked me up, helped me out. We got the Hard Rock. But then there was an issue because it was an all-ages show. They couldn't do no IDs because of alcohol, this and that. And I kind of panicked, and we just canceled the show. And that was like the worst because cats bought tickets, people flew in. It was like everybody went crazy. And to this day, appreciate y'all guys for still holding me down. But we gonna make sure that we'll make up for that. But,
you got the email list for everybody that was at that show?
Bro, it was the worst time because, that was when everything was bubbling too.
Yeah.
Especially for the underground artists. And I had a lot of people coming through from Boston that was collaborating, participating. And I didn't want them to think, oh, this dude took the money and ran. Like, I literally was refunding money, like, to the point where I was overpaying people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And, that was an L that I took, and I learned from it, and I just regrouped and refinanced the house and took some money to pay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that. So that was that time.
Yep.
So there was a space between obviously Sneakergreet when you was doing the promotions.
Yeah.
And then that was really happening. So you took a job at that time?
Yep. I went to the bank. I worked for Santander Bank. I was a banker first. Did really well in sales. That was my thing. And, moved up the ladder. I was down in Kenmore Square for a while.
Okay.
Then I moved up, and then got branch manager position. Was down in the South Shore for a long time, Randolph and Holbrook for a minute. Then I had my own branch at up north.
Okay.
August. Yeah.
So why leave the comfy confines of a corporate structure?
Well paying.
You're getting money.
Who was getting money?
Getting steady money.
Yeah.
6 years in.
Yeah.
Climbing up the ladder.
Yes.
Had your own branch.
Yeah.
Why leave that situation to dive back into something that you love?
You know what it is, man? You have this, as an entrepreneur, you just have this burning thing inside that you could be. It doesn't matter how much someone's gonna pay you.
Yeah.
Like, they pay you, that feels good and that's cool. You can get all the accolades of that, and then the shaking and the networking and all that with the people. But then it's like there's something inside you. I could do more.
Yeah.
And there were endless nights, even with the company, because it's like literally at a bank, especially as a manager, it's 7 to 7 days a week, pretty much.
Yeah,
it's your life.
Yeah,
like I'm, conference calls and just managing people and staff and customers and all that stuff. But even then, you're still thinking about, if I did this like this, if I do this like this, and people were always hitting me up. I used to do a little bit of reselling.
So the culture was still calling you.
Like, when you gonna do another show? Those things was popping, or just being known as the sneaker guy.
Yeah,
like, I remember I'd be in suits and going somewhere, and they'd be like, "Yo, so when you doing the next show with the sneakers?" So it was like something in the back of my head was like, you know what? Let's do this. We saw some people in the city doing it, and they're doing good job, but there's something missing, right? There's a cultural aspect of this event that was missing that I know that they were yearning for.
Yeah.
And we had it. We had it from jump. Like when I used to do a rollout, I would send out emails to everybody. I remember sending like you emails like, "Yo, we're about to do the sneaker event. I'd like to either invite you, or if you want to participate." And we did a lot of it pro bono too. Like I remember doing like giving away tables and a lot of entry, and just because we wanted people to
get involved.
Yeah. And so when I came back, I said, you know what? All right, I'm gonna do 1 year at the bank. We're gonna stack up, and I'm gonna make this decision to bounce and really focus on it as a business.
And that was recent, man, because I feel like the last time we spoke, we were talking about working with a client to get him a house.
Yeah.
So right. I mean, that was within the last like 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
6 months. We did the first show. It was a great turnout for what it was. I know that for me it was like, all right, cool. People still responding. I like that. You know what I'm saying?
The interest is there. The attention is there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, like I said, we do something different. Like we always do something that's a little bit outside of, like we gave away $1,000 cash in a Supreme bag.
Yeah.
The winner won and gave 300 and raffled the 300 of the winnings. Crowd went crazy.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And so it was like, yo, we strapped in. Let's do this. So I got a team together, reached out to some people to really solidify it, and now we're looking to expand and grow. And
so you just came off the most recent show.
Yes. Central Square, Cambridge. It was the pop-up 3.
Your corporate situation is completely out of the way.
Yeah.
So now you're going 100% into Sneakergreet.
That's right.
So what's the trajectory in terms of how often are you going to do shows?
Yeah.
What can we expect in terms of, just in terms of that?
Sure. So what we're looking to do is do a show every second to third show a month. Every third month.
Okay.
Second to third month, depending on how it lies on the calendar. And then what we're looking to do is do shows outside of Massachusetts.
Okay.
So I have connections outside.
So is it? Would you say something similar to Sneaker Summit?
Sneaker Summit, Sneaker Con is always the benchmark. We're always looking at that as our father. They're the largest sneaker event but Sneaker Summit, of course, they do a really great job. Soul Exchange is another one.
Yeah, Soul Exchange. Yeah,
Joe does a really good job over there. We just kind of, we want to make sure that we're kind of setting the precedence in the sneaker events like that. But again, so I compare it like you got this Ringling, Barnum Bailey, and Ringling Barnum Bailey Circus.
Yeah, right? Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus.
Thank you. Is that yard man? Sometimes my tongue gets switch up, but so you have that great event. Worldwide or nationwide, dope event. Then you got Universe Soul Circus.
Yep.
It's popping, like it's the same thing, but it's popping.
Yeah.
Like you got dancing and music, and it has a flavor to it. It's dope, and you have a good time.
So you feel like that's what Sneakergreet is?
Absolutely. Yeah. You come to Sneakergreet, it's like you don't know what you may expect. It's
so people come there. Surprises. Obviously, they're coming for the sneakers, right? Yeah. But you can go there and get an experience, whether you're buying, trading, or selling.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you think about it, 5 hours or 6 hours in an event, there's tables, you walking around trying to sell your sneakers. You might get a sale, you might not get a sale, whatever the case may be. A lot of times people leave. If you go to other sneaker events, a lot of people leave. Say the show starts at 12, people leave about 3 o'clock. Because there's nothing else.
Yeah.
Like at our last event, we had art. Graffiti. We had every known graffiti writer in Boston to display their art on the wall, like as their canvas. Shout out to Merck, shout out to Soam, shout out to Pro Black. It was a blessing, and they came off the love.
Oh, dope!
They were like, "Yo, you doing it again?
Yeah, I like it.
We gotta show you." So man, and those brothers are like. They loved it, and the city got involved. They were like, "Yo, we love what you did. This is crazy. What do you want to do?" So we always try to add a different element in what we're doing. again, because we want to create an experience for people to come back. We have a lot of outside people, so it's not just sneakerheads.
It's not, exactly. So coming from your corporate structure, is there anything that you're taking with that to install into Sneakergreet to kind of give it a foundation?
Yeah.
Are there positives?
Yes.
From your time at Santander?
Absolutely. So building the team is what's important.
Okay.
Right. So my thing is, we love sneakers, we love the culture, but we also have to understand the business aspect of it. So I have people that are in marketing to help us focus on what we're going to do for rollouts. We have an accountant, bookkeeping, and make sure the numbers is right, because anything can happen, and if you don't have your numbers right, you go upside down, and that's important to keep straight. And I have a manager. She's great, Tiffy Longlegs. Shout her out on IG. She's head of PR and marketing and management too. You know what I'm saying? Because she got to keep me straight sometimes.
Yeah.
I go off into a tangent. She's just like, all right, let's pull
it in.
You
back in, come back in.
Which is great, and to have a good team that you can trust, and they hold you down, and they are there for the cause. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people may have some intent, like, oh, we're gonna get this bread, this, that. Like these guys they've been with us from the beginning, and they know exactly what I'm looking for. And my business partner is a, well-known, now he's kind of like a behind the scenes real estate guy, but finance guy, and knows what's going on business wise, and him helping us to create that structure is very important, that we stay on track and making sure that stuff. But having that team and not a bunch of yes people, and creating something and staying on course is what's important for me, and then for the business as well, if we're going to grow and scale and do all the things we're looking to do in the future. So that's what's important. We want to make sure that we're consistent and on track to do bigger, better things.
So talk to me about being all in. So you left the corporate structure. Now you're back to really focusing on being an entrepreneur.
That's it.
Sneakergreet's the thing.
So
talk to me about being all in, locked in, going 100 at this thing.
Nonstop. It's we wake up in the morning, we have our meetings either on the phone or teleconferencing. We do the timeline and what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. We're very secretive on how what we're bringing to the table.
Yeah. You mean secretive outside?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, and we want to, and then we have a lot of things that we're adding legs to it. So we have, like, marketing just came up with something where we're going to, put some stuff on. I won't announce it now, but we're going to put some stuff, some items out in order to engage the audience. There's a huge online presence with everyone, as we know. It's all about Snapchat, Instagram, and other platforms. So we want to make sure we're engaging them on those avenues and making sure that we're giving them content that they will respond to. So it will come back to us in making sure that it translates to the business. And understanding that and keeping that structure, that corporate structure per se, but we have fun too.
Of course,
we take
you're
trips.
You're doing it your way.
Yeah, and we have fun. Like it's not just hard work and this and this, because even at the show, as much as the audience may see the fun side, we're working.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
The show is the work. Like when I'm there, sometimes it's kind of like, hey, how you doing? All right, boom. What's this? All right, and there's staff is, we got security, we got people bringing in, the team members. It's just, there's a lot, the vendors, the people. So we're working, and we're always working to make it better. So all of those skills that I brought from corporate, we incorporated into this, and then having the team that understands what we're looking in the vision, it also helps push it forward. So yeah, man, and like I said, man, I decided a year, took all my gatherings of finances, and I was like, yo, we're gonna do this. And I was like, yo, y'all ready? You really want to do this? They're like, you really want to do this? And I was like, yes. And so that's where we're at today.
What about you? What I was gonna say. What do you think about the state of the sneaker culture? Because obviously, the shows are the shows.
That's right.
But the shows are dependent upon what's out there. What's been out, what's coming out.
Good. Good question. So when I left, I called that the pre-Kanye Adidas era.
Yep.
That era was when things I saw, my mind was dying down. But I think what was happening, there was kind of like a building up of something.
Mm-hmm.
Stores, consignment shops were opening up, especially here in Boston.
Yeah.
Lace being one of the there was at the buzzer. There. Shout out to Kimchi Poppy. Loved your interview last time.
Kimchi.
He was the granddaddy of all of them, and then there was Laced, and then now we have, the Vault and Lynn that's doing tremendous, and then other shops that are lifestyle. So you have Size Run Supply in Brookline. They're doing a really good job, especially with their Supreme supply. You have Level 1 that's in a mall in the South Shore that they're doing really well, and then 1,000 Degrees and stuff like that. So all of those things kind of building this and I don't want to call it a bubble because I don't see it bursting, but it's kind of a bubble and kind of a great network within, especially in New England. And then you have your heavy hitters. You got your concepts, bodegas and stuff. But I was just talking about the consignment shops. Those helped kind of bring it back into to the sneaker shows. But what happened when Kanye went to Adidas, then I saw a real uptick. Yeah. And it just was like crazy. People were at first was like a little apprehensive, but once he dropped that.
Yeah, that's because they didn't know what to expect. Right. Everybody's used to what they're used to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, for the most part, people get nervous when there's some change on some level. But then when a change occurs, that's when
I definitely bought
things
shares.
happen.
Yeah. All I'm saying is I did buy shares with Adidas when he came through. So if you bought your shares, and I know
that's smart.
I definitely knew that was going to be crazy. And and I think it helped us and myself to really realize, it's about to blow. And once you saw lifestyle brands or luxury brands started buying into these companies, Louis Vuitton buying into or your money to with Stadium Goods and all of these things, and then you see them collaborating and Louis and Supreme and all that stuff. I was like, whoa, we're really seeing something crazy. Yeah. Chanel and Pharrell with the NMDs with his brand. I mean, that was crazy. So, and then again on the marketing side, you see a lot of people who do like YouTube videos for reviews. Shout out Tyler Blake, that's my dude. Yeah. And so I definitely see it not going anywhere, and I see it growing, like really picking up the pace and doing.
So what impact do you think that Kanye's recent rant is gonna have on the sneaker culture?
I mean, on the sneaker culture as a whole, I think it's not really gonna impact. I mean, you saw people like
I guess
burning their sneakers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess specifically like his brand. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's gonna hurt the brand.
Any impact at all?
I don't think it's gonna hurt the brand, and I definitely saw the CEO who's standing behind him. I think for me, as an OG in the game, and just as a person who's kind of aware of what's really going on, I think what he had said kind of hurt. I took a personal take. It took me back personally because it was kind of like, bro, you're saying things that's not... Like, we know you're in your bubble, you're up in Calabasas, and I don't want to repeat what everyone else is saying.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's funny because when it happened, I was saying exactly what everyone's saying in the beginning. I remember even sending you a text like, yo! But mental illness, we used to talk about. People who surround you. Yes, people who surround you. I mean, he's a billionaire in his own right. He has people around him that probably are influencing him in different ways. Yeah. And, drugs. He said he's addicted to drugs, opioids and stuff like that. All of those are contributor factors of why and he's always been kind of like outspoken and always kind of speak faster than, or his brain's faster than, and then he spits it right out, right? And I get it. He's a Gemini. I'm a Gemini. Yeah, for sure. Right? Tupac was a Gemini. Yeah. A lot of greats are Geminis.
Whoa. There's a lot of greats that are Virgos.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But so I understand that. But for me, I looked at it as, and I did sell my Yeezys. I personally sold my Yeezys just because I felt like, if you're my brother and I know you're on drugs and you have a problem and you ask me for $35 for a hit, I'm not giving you the money. Yeah. So I said the same thing. Why would I then pay to then contribute to a bad habit.
Yeah, but you already had it though.
I had them.
So you wasn't. I mean, you wasn't necessarily. In that way that you're saying, right? You wasn't necessarily contributing to the habit because you had already purchased and owned.
Yeah, but I didn't know about his habit and when he spewed, like what he said. It's kind of like the Starbucks thing.
Yeah.
The Starbucks.
So you haven't had Starbucks since either?
No, hell no. And the reason why, it's not again. I get it. They close stores for a day and 8,000 stores.
Have you actually seen the new Starbucks commercials? They've been using the black logo recently.
Oh no, I haven't, and I would like to see that.
Am I the only one that's noticing that? I
haven't seen it.
They've been putting a black logo at the end of commercials now.
I'm gonna check that out.
It's a little symbolism.
The thing with the Starbucks thing, even that to me is like, you close your stores. They say he was projected to lose $1.7 million. This dude's a billionaire.
Yeah.
My thing is, you slipped on the banana peel, right?
True.
And it's representative, but unfortunately, the company has slipped on the banana peel. And to me, I feel like you take a stance for the culture of what we're talking of, right? Mm-hmm. I remember back in the day, and I don't want to be long-winded on this subject, but I remember back in the day, I used to be like, we don't need reparations. We're going to build on our own. Because I used to be like super entrepreneur, super like, yo, we're going to get this. We're going to build our own and get everybody to buy black, blah, blah, blah. But then when I realized and understood what it meant and what reparation means, more so than money, it's acknowledgement, it's taking focus into what's happened to us culturally. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm from Caribbean descent, I'm still African American. I'm a black man. But the structure needs to be changed, right? So there's a whole big structure that already is over us, period. So that gives back to the community is what's important. So if the Starbucks CEO, basically. Right, if the CEO was like, you know what, I made a mistake, I'm going to build some schools, I'm going to help with some funding for research for illness and all of these things. If he really was like, really want to apologize to the community, mm-hmm. It's building in the community. Yeah. It's doing some outreach.
Investment.
Yeah, because you close your stores and do a day class who people is not for your employees and half of them are not going to show up anyway. I mean, does it really change anything?
Yeah, I mean, that's just really PR.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, and I understand that. So, to me, I'd rather go somewhere else.
Yeah. So what you have coffee at now?
I make it at home, actually. But that goes back to the Kanye thing. For me, it's like, you slipped on the banana peel. You made the mistake. I got to see something that's going to really impactful for me to be like, all right,
and it's not the music.
It's not the music.
It's not a new
We already
Yeezy.
know he makes
It's not a new Yeezy.
It's not a new Yeezy. We know he make a dope shoe. So that's irrelevant.
But did you hear what he said in this interview with Cedar God about how he has all this land?
Yeah.
And he's trying to develop the land.
Yeah.
And then do something with that
for his but yeah, that, and also his for his shops, for what he's doing. But that's cool. I mean, I get it. That's fine. I'm not mad at him. I love the brother. He's our brother.
Yeah, indeed.
It's just our brother's sick.
And that's why I wasn't. And that's why I wasn't trying to give up on him. Because I felt like everyone goes through stuff, and it's easy to kind of jump on somebody when they make a mistake or they say something, sure. or they're bad. You know what I'm saying? They're in a bad situation. Sure. For whatever reason, it's easy to be like, this guy, this situation, I knew it, I'm off it, whatever. Don't mess with him, But it's like that. Those are the times where you actually need a hug. You know what I'm saying? You actually gotta bring it in. You know what I'm saying? You gotta bring it in and say, hey, listen, let's talk about this. Let's have these discussions. Yeah. Let's take some action.
And that's important.
Let's try to make an impact on some level. Yeah. And I think that's kind of like what needs to be done for him right now. It's probably going on. I know T.I. has been doing his thing. Sure. They've been kind of rebuilding their relationship. So,
it's definitely not a F him and put him on the cross, because again, we all go through things.
Yeah, and he's important to the culture. You know what I'm saying? He's important to the culture, 100%.
Definitely is. And again, like I said, we have those Gemini moments. I'm not the greatest orator, but I be saying some shit that people like, what the hell where did that come from? Or just thoughts and stuff. So I get it. And but for me, I just feel like at this time, for me to put on a Yeezy, feeling how I feel, knowing what I know, I would just feel silly. Like, so that's just kind of where that's my balance.
It's kind of like Tommy Hill back in the day.
Sure.
When he made that statement about about our community.
Yeah.
And it's like I wasn't wearing no Tommy Hill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You got to have that same energy as you did. You know.
I mean that's when you decide to either support another brand or just make up your own brand.
Make up your own brand.
You know what I'm saying? Just do your own thing.
Yeah.
You know, or just don't wear no brands. Yeah. I mean, Kanye even said himself he don't even wear brands.
Exactly. It's funny because people were like, "Well, what are you gonna do? I mean, this company does this company that." I understand that. However, they didn't slip on the banana peel. But yes, I'm not in my basement making garments for me to put on, and I get it. But the responsibility for me and holding someone responsible at that moment is important, and I addressed it. And I feel like people understand where I stand because, it wasn't let's get them, but kind of the stance is kind of like, let's hold them responsible by this. Especially when he says, I'm addicted to opioids. So to me, that stance for me is kind of like, if my boy was on drugs, would I feed him bread so he can, do it? So it's like, I'm going to take a pause. And I did sell my Yeezys.
So the countdown is when you're gonna get them back. I feel like it's a countdown. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how.
You're recopping.
We'll see.
I mean, come on, man. Sneakergreet founder.
I'm not supporting, and I'm not telling anyone to sell your sneakers. Don't get me wrong. I'm still running a business, and we still do what we got to do business wise. I'm just saying for my personal use, and plus I'm a Nike SB guy anyway. Everybody know I'm a Jordan 1 guy. Yeah. Anyway. Then that's just always been my thing. I'm a Jordan 1 guy, and they do some phenomenal stuff. And I know everybody's gonna be like, "Yo, he funds corporate jails and all that." I get it, but anyway, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
but one of my favorite sneakers. So back to what I was saying. So that era when I came back up, I think it's going to. It has changed the way we consume sneakers. Value sneakers. I remember people used to complain about resellers. Now it's kind of common space.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like sneakers are just like females with the bags.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. It's our male bag in a sense. You know? You know, you get the right shoe, it's gonna hold value.
Sure. You
can either wear them and resell them and still get the value. You know, so.
But even the resale market, I feel like people used to give them a bad rap, and it was like, I ain't paying no more than retail. You know, that was a big thing like 2-3 years ago. Like, I ain't paying, I have to just pay retail. I'm not paying reselling price. Now it's kind of common. It's like, all right, what's the value of the resale? Do I have $300 to spend on a shoe that came out for $180 or $400, whatever the value is? And there are a lot of apps and companies. I won't shout them out yet until they give me my sponsorship. But there are a lot of apps and companies that you can resell and that people go to. And see if the value is part of what it is. So, and I think people just signed on to it now. You know what I'm saying? Because who's gonna camp out?
It's common price.
It's
like if you don't do that, you're missing out. So unless you're gonna be there early enough,
or get the ticket, or the
or have your bots or whatever you.
Or
got
your bots, or your back door.
Yeah,
I see you guys out there. I know y'all backdooring.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that it is what it is. But I see it growing, and it's huge. You know, we're consumers of the culture. We always want to look fresh.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? And the companies know that. You know what I'm saying? So they doing everything they can to keep it alive. And so that's where the show's coming for me. It's like, all right, and it's a good niche situation for me, and especially being able to travel with the events. I see it even better, and we have other things cooking with that. So I'm very excited about what we're doing in 2018 moving forward. I think Sneakergreet is definitely here to stay, and we appreciate the audience that we have, and the audience that we're growing. And we're always on the forefront of making sure that we're providing a very good event and doing good content. And even my DJs, like I go to some shows and DJs, because it's an all ages show.
Yeah.
And some DJs go in and flipping and fucking and flipping. I'm like, yo, you got like an 8-year-old kid here, and I can get it, and they can get it. But even my DJs, I tell them, yo, clean versions of what songs. Yeah. I do it. I tell them clean versions. Sometimes some stuff slips in because whatever, but when it's like crazy, like because again, it's an all ages show. I have people from 6 to 60 at my events.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we pay attention to just those little things.
Yeah, those details.
Yeah, it's important.
Those matter, especially to your brand.
Yeah, exactly. We got merch coming out too very soon. Website's coming up soon. Yeah.
So you're going full throttle with the Sneakergreet.
1,000%. It's crazy.
What would you say to anyone out there who is interested in leaving the comfort confines of their corporate situation? What would you want to say to them to maybe have the strength, courage, the risks, you know what I'm saying, to just go after whatever they want to go after?
Well, main thing, number one, passion is everything. But please make sure you have enough bank in your bank to be able to fund that lifestyle, because it takes a lot of time, and time is money. And in order for you to do it right, you want to make sure you're well prepared. Write a business plan. Like, as people, write these things down. You want to have a business plan. You want to make sure that not that the timing is right, because you could do it anytime, but the timing is everything in everything. In preparation, right? We always learn that.
Timing is relative. Obviously, time is important, but it's like you said, it's a preparation. As long as you're preparing, the time will align, and then you can strike.
Yeah, I would never tell anybody to just jump out and do it. And I didn't do that. Like, I knew what I was going to do. And even with us coming out now, it's still a slow build-up, right? Like, the thousands of people we brought in the very beginning when we first started, because we were the first and only ones. Yeah. That's probably cut in half now. So we're competing with other entities that are doing it. So we have to kind of create new eyeballs to the product. Yep. And that's very, that's where marketing is important. And but it's that every single day, and not giving up, and sleepless nights, and hollering at everybody and
networking, connecting,
and love, man. I mean, you'd be surprised on how much, when you show love to people, man, it comes back to you. I think Boston gets a bad rap for like us not showing love to each other. I feel like I've heard that. Like, we don't show enough love to other people doing business and brothers doing business and stuff, but I think if you show love and it's genuine, it comes back to you.
I agree with that.
And I feel like it comes back in weird ways. I know a lot of times in the beginning, I was like, believe it or not, I used to kind of be a reserved person, really shy. Even though in every field, it was always like an outer kind of job, like whether it's promoting, you always have to be out in the forefront, right? But I used to be like in my real time, I was very reserved. And I used to not really reach out to people unless it was like time for me to move. And I didn't understand how it took a long time for me to really understand, like, but they'd be like, oh, I only see you when it's time. But it's like, it's not me. It's just it's not because of the business. It's just that's how I am. But I had to learn to get out that shell and consistently be.
You got to constantly be building relationships, constantly be connecting. Yeah.
Because I was a homebody. Like, I do the club, go crazy, but I'm really, after that, I'm a homebody.
And it's really that time between the events that you need to be building.
Right. Yeah. So, but I've learned those aspects, and but it's a constant. You're learning, you're growing, you're shooting to the stars, and making sure your plan is accurate, and then. The way they say, you measure twice, cut once. Same shit. It's like the same aspect. And then just like I said, love is always in the conversation, and just working hard. That's kind of like the secret, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Sauce. Well, thanks, brother.
Word, man.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate spending some time. Me. No, for real, man.
Make sure you guys check out Sneakergreet.
Yes, sir. We on IG on all handles. It's Sneakergreet. Our Sneakergreet on Instagram is Sneakergreet, GREET _IG.
Cool. See y'all next time. Yeah.